and welcome back to episode 5 of Baggers Podcast. I'm your host, Carlton Blues 24, and you are.
Louis from the Perth Blue Baggers Pod.
Nice to have you on again, and thank you for joining us again. Just quickly, sorry, my voice is pretty croaky today, so I won't be doing much talking, but I will definitely be chipping in on some stats and facts from the game. And yeah, let's just get straight into it. Do you want to start us off with the review?
Yeah, sure. So let's start with the positives. In times like this, you really need to focus on the positives. So look, there was still a bit of resilience shown, especially in the last quarter, refusing to give up, even when the game seemed to be slipping away. So managed to reduce what was like a 30 odd margin. Just losing out the with no time left really, because it's a goal off this or a potential goal off the time. Then we needed. It was good to see some players step up. So as always, Cripps always stands up. Is so good. Poor guy. But then obviously there was others like George Hewitt, and I'll go into them later on. We managed to get 24 inside 50s in the last quarter, which demonstrated our dominance in that quarter. But we had some opportunity, however, that was one of the one issue. We only played one quarter out of a 4-quarter game, so you really need to be more consistent. And unfortunately, we've been doing that too many times this past month, and there's been warning signs within our wins earlier in the season too. But I don't know what that comes to. Is it a little bit of complacency? I don't know, but look, if we just bring what we brought in the fourth quarter, we'll be unstoppable, and there's no way Hawthorn can match it. So we had scoring challenges. It was 1 goal 8 at the end of the first quarter. That is shocking. Really demonstrated our inability to capitalize on scoring opportunities, and could have had them on the back foot, sort of thing. So also another problem was that we mostly play in the back half. Chipping it around, struggled to gain territory, had to keep bombing it long. We have to address issues in this transitioning play, and you just have to break the opposition's defense. Otherwise, you've got no chance of getting it down to the other end. And we're one of the worst ranked teams for that. Well, I think maybe 15th in the comp. We need to get used to this sort of finals-like exposure. We need to constantly rise to the challenge posed by high-quality opponents. Obviously there's going to be time. I think we probably will make the finals, right? Yeah. These sort of games you need to get used to, especially in a high pressure environment. So that's what I've got.
Yeah.
For the preview.
I'll get straight into my key takeaways. Honestly, not enough midfield work for our first 3 quarters. Obviously, fourth quarter was our most dominant quarter, and we got back to our best brand of footy in the fourth. Didn't take our chances when we got the ball inside 58 times. Had 26 shots from our inside 50s, and inaccuracy really shot us in the first 3 quarters. Probably the fourth quarter was one of our best quarters for a long time. Our tackle pressure was poor besides the fourth. Obviously, just couldn't run with them in. I think it was the second quarter where they just really ran over the top of us, and the third as well, where we couldn't. They were shrugging off everything and just really shoving it straight back at us. But the fourth, we were able to stick more tackles, able to get the ball inside 50, as you said, 20 odd more times. Took our chances. Sadly, Charlie lost his streak. We really need to find another way of getting him involved, as he's been honestly pretty poor the last month, except for that Port Adelaide game where he kicked 3 goals and something like that. Second in the Coleman now, then just really need him to lift. Let's get into our top 5. Would you like to start us off?
Yeah, so it was a tough one actually for to pick the top 5 because there was probably about 3 in the mix. So for 5 votes, I chose George Hewitt. This is based on his impact with 2 goal assists and 11 score involvements. He had an impactful start with 10 disposals and 5 clearances in the first quarter. He ended it well with 8 disposals and 3 clearances in the last quarter. He stepped up when we needed him in the last. So, and then he tallies 32 disposals, 20 of which were contested, 5 marks, 11 score involvements, 2 goal assists, 20 pressure acts, 12 clearances, 6 inside 50s, and 343 metres gained. This guy must not be dropped again. Must not be dropped again. I'm going to emphasize that a lot. Patrick Cripps, 4 votes. Obviously can make a case for him to have 5 votes. He got 9 coaches' votes today. This is getting recorded on Monday. So once again, he put the team on his back, worked hard all night, trying to get us over the line. 30 disposals, 15 of which were contested, 4 marks, 4 tackles, 9 score involvements, 1 goal, 556 metres gained, 7 clearances, and 9 inside 50s. And then the other person in the mix was Nick Newman. I gave him 3 votes. Yet another strong performance from Noodles in the back line. Another consistent player throughout the season. I don't think he's getting talked about enough. Consistently getting notable statistics. So he had 34 disposals at 91% disposal efficiency, something we really did need. And he had 12 marks, 5 tackles, 4 intercepts, 4 score involvements, 503 metres gained, and 5 rebound 50s. And then Elijah Hollins, 2 votes. Continues to prove himself as a great pickup with his 21 disposals, 6 marks, 2 goals, and 9 score involvements, and 4 clearances. So, he gets 2 votes. And Mitch McGovern. So, forget about his stupid the goal after the siren opportunity. He played a spectacular game. Can't question it. So anyone say bag him out? Well, they're not a bagger then. So he was probably maybe the best defender, but then Nick Newman's there. But I'll say Nick Newman's better of a defender. But he was pivotal to our comeback as he took crucial marks, 5 intercept marks for the game. So he had 21 disposals, 10 marks, 11 intercepts, 5 rebound 50s, and 5 1%ers. And then I would like to make a few special mentions to Jacob Wiedering, who was a rock in defence once again, and Sam Walsh. My only criticism of Sam Walsh was that he only got 1 clearance. So he might have got 30 disposals, but it's not quite the usual impact that he would usually have by only getting 1 clearance. So, he's getting back into form, which is a good thing to see.
Yep. I'll hop straight into my top 5, where we actually had the same 5, 4, and 3 votes. So for number 5, I had George Hewitt, who had his best game of the year, winning the ball 32 times, going at 75 disposal efficiency, 20 contested possessions, and 12 clearances. Honestly, he's been the missing piece this year. He's one of the most underrated players that I have seen play in our midfield group in a long time. yeah, he's. I mean, it's hard to script really what he did. As he said, he shouldn't be dropped. Got to put an end to just him being dropped. But
Yep.
I'll get straight into my number 4, where Patrick Cripps, who played his role to perfection, like he always does, week in, week out, grabbing 30 disposals, going at 63 disposal efficiency, 9 score involvements, and 7 clearances. Cripper just continues to impress, going for his second Brownlow of the year. He had the missing piece in that fourth quarter, where we really found our rhythm for our skipper, where he put us on his back again. And yeah, number 3, I've got Nick Newman, who was very strong in defense, is week in, week out, having 34 disposals, 5 tackles, 12 marks, also going a good 91 disposal efficiency. As you said, he's been great all year, always gives 110%. And yeah, probably he's been, as you said, probably the most underrated player of the year, or one of. Number 2, I've got Sam Walsh, who was a bit better this week than his last recent weeks, having 30 disposals, 10 marks, and only the 1 clearance. But this week against Hawthorn is Walsh's game. This is where he comes back. This is where we really need him as well, the do or die clash. And he'll step up. He'll step up. Number 1, Elijah Hollins. He was on fire, as you said, continues to impress on why he was a amazing pickup for us and continues to prove his point. 2 goals, 21 disposals, and 4 clearances. And yeah, that's my top 5 done and dusted. Let's get into our versus the Hawks.
Yeah. No, I'll let you start and I'll add on to it.
Oh, yep. Preview versus Hawks. This week we take on the Hawks in a do or die clash for our season. Hawks have been in great form. How much this win would mean to us. Must be ready for a strong Hawks team. As I said earlier on in the pod, Charlie Curno's streak ended, so he must reply, as his role of production up forward is concerning. Must find a way to get him involved in the game, and must win. Must win this game. Going to be really hungry after last week's game, and I see us winning this one. I'm going to the game. I'm sure there's going to be an absolute ripper of a crowd. So if you're down there, go and support the boys. And as we all say, we're stronger together. So we better just show up, show the support. If you can't watch it on TV and just scream at the telly. But
that's what I'll be doing.
Preview is all done and dusted. On to you.
Well, so retro round, 1995 Guernsey. So I'm assuming that there will be 1995 past players there too. So even more of a reason to do them proud by showing off our skills. So you got quite a few young talent from the Hawks. So you got the Wizard. What's his name? Wilson, isn't it? I think his actual name. I honestly can't. I only know him by the Wizard, to be honest. And then you got Guinea. So those 2 small forwards we have to really be able to deal with. And you just know that they'll be trying to rev up the crowd with their celebrations and stuff like that. Then you got Chol in their forward line too, is pretty good. You got Sicily, their captain, who likes to step up in big moments too. They are one of the best teams to watch, to be honest. So I'm sorry if we do. I'm sorry that we will beat them, because honestly, I do want them to make finals, just so you can watch them more this season. But bad timing. And then sorry if we get the job done and sort of stop your finals chances, Hawks. Who else do they have? Newcomb. Sorry if I forgot. Oh, we got Bruce. Bruce is probably one of the most experienced player, so he will add lots of advice. He will have lots of advice for the players. So I think you've got Gunston too.
Yep.
And you got Will Day in the midfield. I think just lots of good talent. Walpole, lots of good talent. So they will be very much a fight against us, and it's going to be hard to pull off. But I know our best will beat the best. We put in a fourth quarter effort for all of the quarters, just like we did against Geelong, Richmond, and to be honest, it's not actually that many times when we've actually played for four quarters. So that's what I was referring to as warning signs when we weren't. So have to bring our best.
Yep. I'll get into my players to look out for, and that was a very good preview from you.
Yeah.
We got our players such as Josh Weddle off that half-back line. He's been in form this year. Jai Newcomb, Jack Ginnivan, Mabior Chahal, James Sicily, and Will Day all had a big impact in the Hawks' comeback after being 0-5 in the first 5 rounds. Must shut them down, as we know we must win this game. And this is our season on the line, and Hawks will be hungry to get a win, as they just lost a 5-goal lead to GWS. And yeah, let's get into our changes for this week. Do you want to start us off?
No, I think mine are pretty much the same as yours when we were chatting before.
Yeah, so I got in Binns and Cowan, out Chera. Obviously, Chera, very luckless this year. He's had an absolute roller coaster of a year with that hamstring injury, Potters with that foot injury, and now he's hurt his shoulder. So hopefully we can get them guys fit for finals if we do make it, which we should. And yeah, on to you.
Yep, that's the same as what I was thinking. And season is not over. Season's not over. And the negativity within this fan base, I know you're frustrated, but the best way we can help them is by backing them in, and all we can do is back them in. So we can't be coaches. I don't think any fans would really ever be better than the coaches. So you got to back them in, stronger together, and that's what's necessary.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Do we do viewers' questions?
We've got viewers' questions right at the end of.
Okay.
Now, well, I've got Carlton by 11 points, Mackay kicking 5 goals, and Mackay to also get best on.
Okay. We'll 16 points. 16 points, Blues win. Sam Walsh, like you said, 34 disposals. He'll get 11 clearances this time and 1 goal to be our best on ground.
We love a Warper celebration, so hopefully he can bring us one.
Oh, yeah.
But introducing something new to the podcast, where I've got viewer questions or fan questions, whatever you would like to call it. So we've got 2 questions this week, hopefully some more next week. I'll start us off with the question from Cheffers Honhan. I'm not so sorry if I didn't spell your last name right, but will we beat the Hawks? And Cheffers, I do reckon we will beat the Hawks. This is a must win. Got to get the job done. We know our season's on the line, as I said. And what do you think, Louis, from Perth with Overford?
Yeah. We'll do enough to beat them. That's for sure. We learned too many lessons over the past few weeks. I think the boys will finally rise to the opportunity and help to get into the right frame for securing a finals berth for the second time in a row.
Another question from Yo123, and I forgot the rest of your username down there, but we've got a question. I remember asking you this question at the start of our podcast. Who are we delisting? Now you can delist.
Oh, okay. I don't like doing this early in the year. But unfortunately, Marchbank, with the luckless run he's having, unfortunately, he probably has to just go and start somewhere else. That's unfortunate for him. We love Marchie. Not my decision. He's the only one I can think of right now because I don't like thinking about it right now. Simple as that.
Pretty simple. I've got two in mind. I can't really think of three, as you said. I haven't started liking this question at all, but I've got Dom McCooey. I think he's been on the list for
Okay.
years. And same as you, Caleb Marchbank with that luckless injury run.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So that wraps up the end of the podcast for this week. Thank you for joining episode 5 of the podcast. I'm your host, Carlton Blues 24, and you are
Louis from the Perth Blue Baggers pod. And
Go
our podcast will come out soon. So stay tuned as well.
Go and give it a like, comment, subscribe. Let's go. Go Blues.